All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another amazing show. This is a Real Estate Marketing Roundtable. This is a mandate. And I do not mean a mandate like the government. I'm talking about these sexy males that are together in Florida. They're drinking beer. They have microphones. I wish I could be there with them, but I'm not. I'm stuck here in, California. But we're going to talk about incredible stuff. We're going to talk about marketing. We're going to talk about how to really get yourself exposed. But before that, here is our countdown.
Uh-oh.
Greg, wake up. Wake up.
Greg's on mute again. Look at that.
You're on mute.
No, I'm not.
You
Hi,
were.
Greg.
Yes, you were.
Okay, I was. Thank you to moving back into my house here in Walnut Creek, and there's going to be computer glitches, but we have Captain Link Juice, we have Gene Volpe, we have Nick Sakis, we have Jake the Sergeant Wolf here with us today, and there's no order there, but it's a lot of fun. We're going to talk about a lot of shit. Jake, say hello to everybody.
Hello, everybody. We're down here on the beautiful beaches of Sarasota, hanging out with some awesome people, really lining up some real estate investment, doing some marketing strategies. We're having fun. It's a whole to-do, and we're getting out ahead of the high gas prices, burning up fuel.
Nice. I love it. Nick, what's up, homie?
Hey, buddy. I made a long trip here all the way from Tampa, about an hour away. So this has been exciting. We got a nice little Airbnb here. We're going to talk about that, how to market it, and I'm pretty pumped up.
I love it. The sexiest man on the entire show, Mr. Gene Volpe. How are you, brother, man?
That makes sense. I thought you were gonna dupe me there and go with the captain, but I'm doing great. Look, listen, I'm not the handsomest guy in this room, let alone on the show.
You guys are all very attractive human beings, but I mean,
it's a good point.
I gotta tell you,
Is Greg hitting?
Mr. Link Juice,
Greg's hitting on us.
I love the beard game you're rolling with. That's a strong game.
He's talking to Link Juice.
I am
strong to quite strong at the moment.
All right, so let's jump into this, guys. Let's talk about whatever you guys want to talk about today. I'm here to facilitate, but you guys are all sitting in the same kitchen and house together, which I'm so jealous about. Let's jump in this. Captain Link Juice, what's something that you're seeing in the real estate space that agents can start taking more advantage of to build a business or increase their business? Where would you start with that, either mortgage or real estate?
So interesting statistic right now, the average mortgage out there right now is $1,680 a month. The average rental is $1,850 a month. So if that triggers anything inside of your brain from an investment standpoint, you're going, okay, there's opportunity there to, if you can create inventory and hold on to it, you're going to create a very nice revenue stream for yourself because the rental market is so aggressive. Inventory obviously is low, but if you can figure out a way to create inventory, right now everybody's well, I don't know if people are sleeping on it, but new construction, I just bought this house in Sarasota, new construction. I mean, just the equity position alone by the time this development is done, not to mention the Airbnb possibilities, is where, Sarge and I and Nick and I were talking about it a minute ago. Like, new construction early, get in, you're not going to lose.
Okay, walk me through that a little bit. When it comes to new construction, how would you go out and make connections with new construction individuals?
So what we did is we just looked for builders that we like. So I would identify builders, identify a city or a town that you want to be in, and just research who's building in that area. And he needs a beer. And
that was? So wait, real quick before he does that, let's get into what's in the fridge real quick, huh? So
Oh.
Sarge just motioned. I don't know if you can see that on camera. Where did Greg
No,
go?
okay, do it again.
Oh,
Zoomed in.
confused me. You didn't see Sarge though. So Sarge, do make that motion again.
He just put his beer up.
Put his beer up. So that's me. Apparently, I'm his bitch today. So here I am. Right.
Closest to the fridge, man.
Oh, look at that.
Oh. Now we are
Pass
talking.
that down.
And message has been received. All right.
So, but back to like as far as research goes, just identify builders that and find out what projects are coming on. A little fun fact I share with these guys: I flew down here to close on this property at the end of between Christmas and New Year's. I flew down, and when I was here staying, I met a couple. I was talking to them, and they asked how long, you know. They asked me what I was doing here in Sarasota. I said, I'm closing on a house tomorrow. And they're like, wait, you've never been here before? I said, no, I've never. It's my first time to Sarasota. And they're like, and you're buying a house here? I go, yeah, the numbers. I mean, if you run the numbers and you're in the space and you know it, it makes sense. So you can buy in any city new construction. And you just, look, at the end of the day, you just got to pull the trigger. You can't be scared. And in this space right now, it's a pretty safe bet that if you're buying new construction, you're going to be in a solid equity position by the time the neighborhood's done. And if you can figure out a way to, you know, cash flow and Airbnb it, which do your research. When we bought here, we knew that you were allowed to do the short-term rental here. And that was one of the reasons why we honed in on it.
Nice. Well done. Let me walk through this process. When it comes to finding new home builders, Nick, you are a lifetime Floridian. I think I'm saying that correctly.
You did that. That's good.
Okay. Walk me through, how would you find, as a Floridian and or anywhere else, how would you find a new home builder that you could work with?
Well, I want to go back and talk about me and you are the only ones on this call that have been in this industry since 05. When did you guys get in?
06.
06? Okay, so you've been in it too. You remember the first wave. Like this new construction flip, this is what was going on in 2007, 8, 9. So it's really interesting to see this play out again. But the difference is there's just no inventory. So like all the stuff that was going on before, there was a glutton of inventory and people were just wholesaling contracts. Now the inventory is so low, especially in Florida, in Tampa, Pinellas, Hillsborough County. They're like, you know, Link Juice said there's no downside to this right now in this short term.
Okay, so again, let's answer the question. How do you find new home builders? Where would you go to find it? I have an answer, but I want to get your guys' answer, kind of where to get people's feet wet, because a lot of folks, when it's a very sexy comment to start with, but where do you start? So Nick, I want you to go first, since you just talked. I want you to talk about the first thing that comes to your mind in regards to new homes. Then I'm going to go to Jake.
Listen, man, we have all the builders reaching out to us already, right? I mean, first things first, I open up my email box every day and I'm getting new builder inventory all the time. We're part of a couple of associations in our market that lets us know and knows when new builders are actually going out, pulling permits, seeing where the new construction is happening. So, you know, that's one factor. You can just see where the permits are being pulled and then see what builders are actually building and go about it that way if you don't want to wait too long, right?
So hold on really quickly, gentlemen. I'm getting feedback. I'm getting feedback from you guys. Shut the fuck up.
Areas that you know are up and coming, like if you know a public is coming in town in Tampa, then damn sure that everybody's going to be building in that area, right? So that's a little trick too.
All right, rock and roll, guys. I'm getting feedback from you guys. So whoever is on mic, the other mic, you know, just turn it off for half a second, because I'm getting reverb on that. And then Nick, I'm getting silence from you on this one a little bit. I don't know what is going on with our mics today.
Check.
There we go. Now much better. Jake Wolf. Now, you are a master marketer, along with, as Nick tips the microphone over and almost kills it. What would you do with this when it comes to finding your first new home builder?
So back before the housing market crash in 2008, it was actually one of my positions to identify pre-construction investment opportunity all across the United States of America. I was talking to developers and builders, trying to identify opportunities, right? So
Mhm.
you have to understand the mechanics here of new construction and development as well. A developer needs to show attention and attraction for this new development. And that's kind of historically. Now we just have a lot of attention, right? But once they go through phases, a phase of new construction, they could go ahead and set up a development. It could be 5 phases, could be 8. That just means they're going to build out segment 1. The developer and the builders are going to show the banks and the different lending institutions that, hey, we have attention and attraction, which then poses more financing for them to build out their phases. So if you can go ahead and get into real estate at an early stage and anticipate the attention and attraction towards a development, obviously you're negotiating prices in phase 1. And by the time the whole development actually goes ahead and builds out, now you have a strong equitable position, things like that. Before the housing market crashed in 2008, this was a big play, right? The secondary note market was crazy. Everybody knows that. But we're all here together today because there's a lot of reasons that people are moving across the country, right? And in Florida, I was just at a meeting and there was 65,000 new home permits that were going to be built in a certain area of a county in Central Florida. There's a lot of attention that's going on right now. So here's a quick example from an investment type opportunity. Good friend of mine purchased a home in phase 1 inside of a development that was on the west side of Orlando. He bought in, the home was about 4,500 square foot. They built it for about 800,000. Now it's worth 1.6. And that was the very end of 2018, early 2019. So there are a tremendous amount of people coming. And that's one of the reasons that we're all here. So the biggest question is this: how do you create relationships with these builders and developers to actually get yourself into a position? And that's very, very difficult to do. You're going to end up rolling into some of these different areas. And because there's so much happening, you're going to find yourself in position 200, 300, 400 on the list. So I highly urge, if anybody wants to go ahead and get into something like this, connect with the people here at the round table, especially out of the Florida area. Mr. Brian just went ahead and picked up this beautiful house that we're in right now, and we're touring it. And there's more to come. So, but however, the relationship side is very hard, and you just have to know the right people that have the right relationships.
Yeah, 100% agree. Brian, let's jump to you really quickly. Since Jake, kind of was talking about what you did to facilitate this property, when you were jumping into new construction or just investment opportunities, where do you first start?
Yeah, I mean, look, I was fortunate enough to be in a position where 2 other people on our team bought Unit 6 and bought Unit 7. I bought Unit 18. So as soon as I knew about the opportunity, I reached out to the woman, Melanie, who's running the sales office here, and was like, look, I want in. What do I got to do to secure a spot? I want the next property that comes available. I just stayed in her world. We're salespeople. We know I feel like most of us could sell ourselves into any situation we really wanted to be in by doing the right connections. So she let me know that the financing on this property fell through. And she's like, I will give you the same deal they have, but you have 4 days to get me the deposit. And I had it to her in 2. I was like, I want it. So you got to be ready to go. And here's the one thing I'll challenge all realtors to do, because we're in the space where you're trying to create and you're trying to sell houses, right? This is a different mentality that we're talking about. We're talking become a buyer, become an investor, become your client. So you have to create a surplus. You have to create a surplus of revenue. I know Frank mentioned here, or Tony, somebody mentioned about, builders are not paying commissions on stuff. I'm not talking about selling them. I'm talking about buying them. So I'm talking about go sell enough real estate so you create a surplus, 30, 40, 50, 60, $80,000, and then put that money to work buying, investment properties. So that's the strategy where you just have to hone in on where you want to be and stay on top of them. And I know Sarge and I were talking about ways to get yourself higher up on the list, find out where you need to be to jump somebody, find out how much, money you got to put down to make it happen. And in the right situation, in the right market, if you know your numbers, it doesn't make sense. I would have paid more money for this house than I did because the numbers worked. Even at $50,000, $80,000 more than what I paid for it, they work.
Mm-hmm.
So you're competing against people that are going in as their primary residence. You're going in as an investor. It's a completely different hat you're wearing. So your numbers, you can be more aggressive because at the end of the day, you're going to be renting it and making money, and you're competing with primary residents. You should be able to beat them all day long.
Let's talk about being aggressive. I think that's a conversation that a lot of people are afraid to have, because the obviously all of us, are aggressive human beings. We've built an industry. We all have our own shows underneath the Real Estate Uncensored REU brand, but people are afraid of being aggressive. Walk me through, Nick, why you would be hesitant to be aggressive. Then I want to go to Gene on this one.
Well, wait a minute. I want to hear what you were going to say about the new construction. You said you wanted to hear everybody else, but you said you had an answer too.
Okay, so new construction, one of the strategies I came up with a long time ago is really simple. When it comes to new construction, what you do is you go to your local home, your local county or city or state or whatever else building department, and you ask for all of the the permits that have been lent out or are in process for residential construction, multifamily, single family, multifamily, whatever it's going to be. Then they're going to give you this information, by the way, because they want their tax dollars. So then you reach out to those sellers and you say, hey, look, I see you have this type of map. You have it's raw land, whatever it is. You build your own MLS in regards to that. Then you talk to them and say, okay, do you guys want to sell? What would you sell for? When would you want to sell? If I could bring you the perfect offer. Now you go out and you do cold calls, door knocks, you do social media, and you say, hey, look, I have a list of blank different types of properties that could be built in this type of area. And then you just start having a conversation with them. Also, you can go to the building commission and you can start talking to them and say, hey, look, Mr. and Mrs. Builder, who either build 1 to 5 to 10 to 1,000 homes a year. I have off-market lots because they're always being pitched the same bullshit that's already out on the market. You can find this stuff and it's 100% free. Now, here's the cool thing. So you sell them the lot, right? Then you have exclusive rights in your contract to then do the resale. Now, those people that are coming in to buy these new properties may or may not have another property they need to sell. So you may have another property you can sell there, and then you give referrals. Now with Jake and what he's built with the moving company, then you say, hey, look, I'll move you here at a zero cost basis, and I'm going to take 100% responsibility for all of the cost that's going to go into the sale and move,
as long as you qualify.
As long as you qualify, 100%. Yes, I've learned that vernacular. But that's one of the things that we've been doing, and it is phenomenally successful. You can get 5 deals out of one conversation if you do it correctly when it comes to new construction. Nobody looks at this. If you look at a piece of land, and you're like, oh, it's a piece of land. Nah, dude, you have 5 different deals going on right there. There's a thing called a Deal Maker. Is it Deal Maker? I think it's Deal Maker. It's an app. And like Uber drivers, bus drivers, you can hire anybody, and they will identify different properties for you for new construction. And you can go out there and pay them literally $1 to $2 per lead. And then you get all the information about that property. And then Deal Maker will go out and start prospecting for you. So that's one of the things I've taught, and people's brains melt as soon as I start talking about this. And Jake is going to take over the mic. Jake.
I want to do something that has never been done before at the marketing roundtable. So bear with me, everybody, and put this on the bingo board.
Oh, Jesus. The bingo board? Seriously? We're going to bring up the bingo board? Are we rubbing his head? Hold on. Oh, by the way, anyone who's not listening,
Tony Barbarino's mind is super blown right now. So he said, if he's still watching, Tony, if you're still watching, give us the thumbs up. He said he can't believe that those two are together. I offer this to my good man Tony.
Yeah. There they are.
Yo, what
All
is
four of them.
no effing way? So
It's about
Jake,
friggin' time.
Jake's gonna find money tonight, by the way, just so you know.
Hey, that's a good way to go about it. My ex-girlfriend's sister brought over for Chinese New Year's those little red envelopes. So I found myself $70. I'm like, ooh, hello to you. Captain Link Juice, let's break in with you really quickly. When it comes to with mortgages and everything else, what would be one of the biggest things that someone should look for as a pitfall when they start working with new construction? Is there something that would jump out at you immediately?
Yeah, I mean, look, so obviously, I run business development for the community mortgage team at AndyMac, which is, our own mortgage team. We're a $400 million mortgage team. I didn't use my mortgage company.
You guys are
to
broke
do the
as
financing
shit.
on the new construction. I used MI Homes financing for it. There's leverage there. So you have to understand leverage, even at your, and I used my real estate license and had a realtor represent me and asked for the commission back to offset closing costs. So I was able to get about 10 grand off of my closing cost. And I used MI Homes financing for the property. So there's some strategies there that you would want to reach out and figure out. There's ways to position yourself if you're a realtor, leverage their in-house financing for new construction, because there's usually some benefits to using their title, their mortgage company. So the knee-jerk reaction, obviously, when I'm out talking about financing is, hey, use our company. We'll be able to help you finance it. But with new construction, it's a little different beast. There is a lot of leverage that most companies, banks, small banks can't give you when you're using the builder's in-house financing situation. So, and then here's the other thing too, which is way different than 08 with what we're dealing with right now. Builders are always trying to sell the next phase, right? The next phase, they want to sell the whole lot, the whole phase and move on. They're being strategical now. In this neighborhood where I'm at right now, you can only buy, the sales rep can only sell 2 houses a month. That's
Seriously?
it. I don't think we've ever seen that before, where they're limiting how many you could buy. So the lines are so long, like Sarge said, you don't want to end up deep in that line. And then do the math. I mean, if they're selling 2 houses a month and you go put a deposit on here today, that's 18 months before if you're lucky, if you're even getting in this place. So, that's why it's super important to not get paralysis by analysis and just pull the trigger. If you want to do it, do it. And there's literally no downside.
All right, let me walk you through something really quickly. And I want everybody to jump in on this. So I want to talk about in-house marketing and then versus out of house marketing when it comes to finance. And then also, so let's say you are literally limited to 2 houses a month. That's, by the way, that's complete fucking bullshit. I mean, that's retarded. And yes, I can say retarded, all of you individuals who are out there, because I have dyslexia and ADHD. So I'm literally just, retarded. So give me a break. Don't, if you don't like me, whatever.
That's the qualification.
And by the way, everyone who's not watching this, everyone's laughing their asses off with their.
I'm just thinking about how this is going to be the new commercial for REU. That was the new commercial clip. Yep.
I can do that. I have no problem with that. But when it comes to mindset, in-house, you have to use your brand's, title, their mortgage and everything else. How do you break out of that? How do you step into another frame of mind and then go from only saying like, well, I can only do 2 houses a month. This is kind of my limit, to going like, dude, I'm going to do 10, 15, 20 houses a month, which by the way is a nightmare. Trust me. But it's a lot of money that you can make. Nick, walk me through this. I know you've been in the business for a long period of time. Have you ever been told that you have to use in-house branding or marketing?
Yes, and I'm no longer with that company.
And we will
So
not.
we were part of a luxury brand where we basically had to get everything approved before we could even hit the internet, before we could print a flyer. Like they had their own in-house marketing department. So we would have a week's time where if a listing was going to go live, like it would take 2 to 3 weeks before we could even put a listing live, because that's how much red tape it took to actually get something live, because everything had to be approved. So we were there for about a year and a half. And then that's when, this was back 2013, 2012. And that's when we started ramping up our own internet marketing, our Google ads, our Facebook ads and everything. And then we said peace and went to KW, where we're allowed to do whatever we want. So I think it depends on the individual, depends on the team. You know, if you're part of an association or if you're part of a brokerage and you're drinking the Kool-Aid and you're getting relocation clients and you're getting fed, or you're on a big team, like you just have to know what you want out of your business, right? If you don't want to work 24/7 and generate all your own leads and build your own brand, and you're happy with being a new construction, rep, working 8 hours a day and clocking out and getting your 2 sales for the month, that's cool. More power to you. You just have to know exactly what you want, and kind of go from there. So I don't necessarily, I think it depends on the person. I didn't personally like that at all. Right.
Yeah. I totally feel you on that one. Jake, I want you to step in on this one, because I think that there's a lot of power behind what Nick just said, because when you're being controlled in business, it lacks growth. So, and this is not a sales pitch, but with Clever Leads and what you have built and what you're putting out there, you're giving folks the ability to be autonomous. They can be their own person, male, female, whatever you want to identify as, don't care. How would you work with somebody that says, oh my gosh, I love this idea, I want to market myself, I want to become my own identity? What would be a budget that they could start with if they were just starting, and how would you do that for them?
That's a very loaded question, right? So
it is, by the way. That's a very loaded question.
Yeah. So thank you. And yes, we do make things a lot easier to be the communication bridge to your prospective consumer. But however, I want to bring this back to kind of the new construction side of the house that we're dealing with right now, because it's going to kind of answer your question. So with being in a position where you and your family are moving, let's say possibly from New York down to Florida, you're going to go ahead and sell your home, and you're interested in making this move for many reasons, personal, professional, whatever the case may be. You end up getting down to a state like Florida, and your options are what? I'm going to go ahead and get out and compete with all the rest of the retail buyers in the marketplace on existing homes, or I'm going to start taking a look at new construction. As soon as you get into the new construction side of the house, all of a sudden you realize, oh my gosh, it's going to go ahead and take 8 months to 12 months in order to go ahead and put your home together. So one of the things that Brian and Gino and all of us are taking a look at is catering to the convenience and actually getting into a position now with our relationships and shortening that time gap. So we can take the position, lock up properties down here in the Florida region. And then once those buyers come down, now we have a brand new piece of property. We've already shortened the time gap, and now we can go ahead and get those buyers in to a position. So with that being said, it's a very powerful investment strategy right now. However, you think about the unique selling proposition of what we're doing. You always look for angles to go ahead and cater to the need of your prospective consumer. And that's just something that we're doing down here. So whenever you get into the marketplace, any of your marketing, right, you always have to identify your unique selling proposition, what makes you different compared to your competitor, and how are you catering to the needs of your consumers. So once you have that established, there are so many vehicles that we talk about all the time here on this show to go ahead and get that out there. But I appreciate the plug with Clever Leads. Yes, we make it easier for people to go ahead and get that message to the consumer. And we do everything we can to support folks. But that's what we're doing down here. And that's the power of the investment that Mr. Brian Offner just went ahead and made.
And the really interesting thing here is that it doesn't have to be just for real estate. It can be for the marketing side as well, and the mortgage. So, Gene, Captain Link Juice. I just love saying that name. I'm sorry. I just love that. Let's talk about a little bit about how you guys would kind of look at that from your point of view.
As far as a couple strategies, things that jumped into my head as far as financing from a point of view of creating inventory, right? There's renovation loans jumps into my head immediately. We're talking new construction, but we could talk a little bit about reconstruction and look for opportunities with distressed properties and leveraging financing to take those properties from, not usable to top of the market, leveraging, the after renovation market valuation and putting yourself in a position to create a property, have equity immediately, and then attack the marketplace with a rental strategy, Airbnb, second home, whatever the case may be. But there's a lot of products out there right now on the financing side that supports everything we're doing. I don't know if did you talk to them about cash to keys? No. So Greg, we rolled this thing out. It's in New Jersey right now, but Annie Mac created a program called Cash to Keys. Follow me on this. So we do what's called
for a while.
What's that?
It's been in California for a while.
Okay. So you have
No. Not cash for keys.
Cash to keys.
Yeah, it's different. Let him explain it because I think Greg, we're talking about something else. I think cash for keys is when the banks come in and pay you to get out of the house, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, no. This is something different. So check this out.
Oh, okay.
Annie Mac leveraged their lines of credit, basically their wholesale lines, and went out and created a program. They created Annie Mac private equity. So we take buyers in New Jersey who have what we call platinum pre-approval. So let's say you have a conventional buyer putting 10% down, maybe 20% down, and we actually flip that pre-qual to what's called a cash to keys. They become a cash buyer. They go out and make cash offers to buy homes, right? And that realtor gets paid on that cash deal. And right behind it, it's an assignment of mortgage right to Annie Mac. And that buyer can then go out, win in this market, and then be able to close, 4 or 6 weeks later on the mortgage executes with Annie Mac. It's rolled out in New Jersey right now. We're looking Florida is next, and some other markets where we're going to be able to have that product where we turn a mortgage contingency into a cash buyer. So, we're privileged enough to be aligned with Annie Mac, who creates ways to help our realtor partners win in this industry, in this current market that we're in. You can't do things that we've done in the past to win in this current market. It's just different. And their initiative to help our realtor partners do that is pretty cool. And I'm in Pennsylvania, so I'll be honest with you, I'm super jealous that we don't have it in PA yet. And I know it's coming to Florida, but it's a game changer. It's literally a game changer for realtors that service that market because you can go out and make cash offers. It's crazy.
I love that. I love that a ton. Nick, I want to go to Nick and then go back to Gene. In regards to how would you market this to real estate agents so they could take advantage of these opportunities? Walk me through that really quickly.
Market to real estate agents for this cash to keys.
Yes.
Right. So this is kind of similar. I want to say something real quick.
Please don't.
In this environment, I think, Captain Link Juice, Gene, they're here in Florida scouting out properties for Airbnb for their own well-being, taking advantage of the market. I want every realtor listening to this podcast to understand that right now, everybody should have their investor hat on first, and the real estate commission is secondary, right? You guys are on the front line. Everybody, when you get a deal passed to your desk, whether you're doing internet generation, whether somebody's giving you a referral or whatever, you should be looking at this deal not as a slam dunk $8,000 commission, but as what can I do with this property? Number one, how can I help this seller the most? Because we don't want to take advantage of people. But is this more beneficial to the seller to give them a cash offer so that they can go quickly? Is this something that I can take to an investor, flipper, and be on the front line of something for myself, for my own family wealth? Or is this just a retail deal? So having those different buckets and knowing going into each transaction, obviously we don't want to take advantage of people, but I think everybody should have an investor hat on. You guys all know your market really, really well. And this is the time, it's been the time to take advantage of that, since we're the front line. We're the ones seeing all the deals, right? So don't sleep on that. As far as, actually getting the word out there about this, I think in general, like mortgage guys usually have a really good idea of doing the lunch and learns and all the traditional stuff, right? For me, from a marketing perspective, it's always like a case study. So for me, it would be, how do you market a case study to a group of realtors to let them know, hey, here's an example of buyer A versus buyer B, right? Here's a transaction that happened. 47 offers, they were completely underwritten, good as cash, ready to go, closed in a week. Buyer B won because buyer C didn't have this type of unique proposition for them, for the closing, right? So case studies are super, super powerful, and having that testimonial, and it really shows people like A and B. It's a comparison, kind of like we would test an ad, right? Which ad's going to do better, which creative, we got to test it. So if you can have comparisons in real world as to what's actually happening in the data and bring that to people's minds, because the less amount of brain power that people have to expend to digest something, the quicker they're going to get it, right? So the case study brings it to the forefront of exactly how quick this happens, how this is a competitive advantage, and why everybody, if they have the opportunity to do that, should be doing that.
Yeah, that's an absolute phenomenal point. Jake, weigh in on that a little bit with me, because I think you could bring some power when it comes to the marketing side for this. And he's muted. Unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, we can't hear his deep, voice.
Can you repeat the question? We had the volume turned down just a hair.
Well, I want to kind of segue off of what Nick was saying there, and I think there's a lot of power. By the way, guys, I really am taking notes when I say that. In regards to what you guys are saying, if you were to take what Nick just said and put it on steroids with marketing and be able to push it out to the universe, how would you start as an individual, not as a company owner, as an individual real estate agent?
Well, so think about Nick's statement, right? He was talking about identifying opportunities to service prospective customers and putting on an investor type hat because it is something that's attractive right now. I'm looking for 20 new construction opportunities right now as I speak personally. So if you have the ability and the relationships with folks to go and get me into a position to actually secure these types of properties, I would be your consumer. So most of our audiences are real estate agents, right? And we always talk about filling up your pipeline. You have to be dynamic in your thought process, right? So identify different opportunities where your pools are at, seller side, buyer side, opportunity side, and then communicate that. Get in and have the knowledge, right? So congratulations for actually listening to a program like this, right? And others that are out there. However, there's two levels of thought when it comes to knowledge. There's horizontal and then there's vertical. Okay. Horizontal type knowledge, ladies and gentlemen, are those people that kind of just generally know about a certain topic and they talk in a horizontal type pattern to go ahead and make themselves feel good about things. Okay. People that are tacticians, have vertical knowledge, go down the rabbit hole and identify opportunities and put all the mechanics together. So I always talk about doing your daily business push-ups, and that's part of it. It's not just education, it's application of knowledge. But go out there, identify different opportunities for growth for your business, and then who are the people that you need to cater to and how are you going to serve them? All right. So once you have this all put together, and it's transferable into many different industries, right? So once you have the ability to serve your customer, now you have to go ahead and communicate that service to these folks so that they know that your door is open and you can do this and things along those lines. So it's all about doing your business push-ups, right? So there's a lot of ways for us to communicate our messages to prospective consumers, and that's changing on a daily basis. There's new social platforms coming out. There's new ways to communicate, all of these different things. But at the end of the day, people will gauge you upon the relevancy of who you are as an individual, who you are as a business, and how well you can actually do for them, right? And we talk about that unique selling proposition all the time. All of our consumers, even us, a home. We're always thinking about the same things, financial and personal convenience, consistently. So
Right.
don't overthink this. However, I highly express that it is important to go ahead and be vertical in your business, understand the knowledge that's necessary to cater to your consumer, and apply it, ladies and gentlemen. And that's what we're all doing here today. We are applying and taking active measures in our personal lives and getting together. And we are even cutting this time out for you, and we are sharing this with you guys. So,
you know what? We are wrapping time up. And by the way, Jake, that was fantastic information. Hope everybody writes that down. My God, I know I did. But I want to go to Gene really quickly and Capper Link Juice. And this is a question that's going to go back to all four of you guys, and then we're going to close the show because we are coming up on time. I know you guys are all very busy. I want to talk about creating your own MLS. How do you create your own MLS? And by the way, that's your multiple listing services, ladies and gentlemen. That's your private inventory of properties that are not known to every single agent. So, Gene, how would you create it? How would you market it?
I'm going to completely ignore that question because I haven't been paying attention to this show at all.
I'm sorry. Gene's feed just dropped. That is so bad. I'm so sorry he dropped. Oh, wait. No, wait. He's back. He's back. He's back. Wait, no.
Oh, yeah?
No. Oh, Nick's feed just dropped.
So,
God, this show is horrible.
You're going to have to get rid of everybody. Listen, I've been talking about this one for 100 years. Here's how I would create my own MLS. I wouldn't. There's broker reciprocity out there for a reason.
Whoa. Hold the phone. Okay. Why would you not create your own MLS? Where's the value in that for you as an independent broker?
Here's what I'm saying. Don't reinvent the wheel. It's already there, right? So the
I'm going to argue with you on this so hard.
No, you're not. You're going to lose.
I will win. I have 22 years in the business. I'll win. But anyways, go. I want to hear it. Go.
All right. Well, hold on. So I need somebody to help Greg with this, first of all. Broker reciprocity. So somebody explain to Greg what reciprocity is first, real quick.
Dude, okay. I'm dyslexic. Let's just pass the beer down.
Spell it first. Spell it first, then tell me what it means. No, I'm kidding. So
shut up.
Listen, the MLS is out there for my use, right? I don't need to have one single listing active. My job is to bring buyers to all the tables. So in theory, all of those listings are my listings, aren't they? So what I meant by that is
not.
What's that?
Absolutely not.
But, dude, listen, they are. I can market your listing as not as if it's mine. I can't do that, but I can say, come, let me show you this beautiful kitchen and set your family up here. It says Greg McDaniel's the listing agent at the bottom. So if you do any bit of research, you'll know it's not my listing, but I'm using the whole MLS as if it were my playground. That's it.
Okay. Not a problem. I hear you on that. So why would you not want to create your own MLS? Not saying it's like, it's like software or anything else. It's just creating a spreadsheet of properties not on the market. Why would you not want to do that?
Well, so, all right. So that's just something different, right? So if it's not on the market, it's I guess I get what you're saying. No, I totally would want to do that for sure. No. Pocket listings for me are always the best ones. And I've done this in wholesaling, right? If by the time there's a property that's available for investors and it hits the actual MLS, it's too late. Nobody, as an investor, Brian wants to see all the properties nobody else has seen yet. I want first crack. So I'm going out and talking to all the divorce attorneys. I'm talking to estate attorneys. I'm talking to other investors in my circle. I'm going to dig online. I'm checking all these people out and I'm saying, look, I'm going to get you the best price for your property. And guess what? I'm going to make a little bit of scratch on the side too. So come at me. And here's really what you got to do, Greg, because I've done this for a long time. You have to create trust in these circles. So if people know that, so here's what I always say. When we used to invest in property, right? If I came to the table with a $10,000 cash offer, $10,000 deposit and a cash offer and said, I'm going to settle in 20 days. If I settled in 20 days, guess what just happened? I built my trust with them. If I bail on the deal and try and fight to get my 10K back because I couldn't get a buyer on the other end of it or I didn't buy it myself, you lose trust. People won't deal with you, right? So what we have to do in that particular case is come across to these folks with the best offers and the best deals for their properties. You facilitate that. In my world, it's all about networking, right? Like I know in my back pocket, if you came to me and said, God forbid somebody just passed away in my family. I have a house. I don't know what we can do with it. I can have that sold for you in 24 hours without ever having to hire a real estate agent because I have a network of people that do that because they trust me, right? So 100% build trust first and then start creating that list of off market. You said MLS. I was thinking like stuff that was public. I'm going to create that list behind the scenes.
Yeah, let me rephrase that. I apologize on that, verbiage. It is your private MLS. It's your off market. Brian, I'm going to go to you real quick. Give me your thoughts in regards to how on the mortgage side you can sell this, because if me as a real estate agent was in relationship with you guys at a mortgage company, how can that build a relationship that can make money?
Well, we're in a unique position from, if we're being considered the mortgage guys, we're both marketers. So what we do is we help our real estate agents market. So my strategy is I say, hey, Tony, do you mind if I borrow your real estate license and go market us and go make us a bunch of buyers? And hopefully, we'll be able to pre-qual some of them. Look, most realtors, they're not marketers, right? And that's what it boils down to. That the job of real estate agent, look, there's customer acquisition and then customer service. I put customer acquisition way ahead of customer service because I could be the best realtor in the world. I know all the T's and I's are dotted and crossed, but if I don't have any clients, what am I doing with that knowledge? So I want to help realtors acquire more business, develop the skills, and to put A+ customer service with transaction coordinators and the whole 9 in place. And that's my focus from the entire pipeline. The mortgage is one component of that, but there's a lot of realtors lacking the skill that's required to compete in this market from a marketing standpoint.
Right.
Let's take Facebook, for instance. You guys know I say this all the time to realtors. It's one of my favorite things to tell them. As a realtor, I was like, no one gives a shit you're a realtor. Like literally nobody cares you're a realtor until they need a realtor. So what content are you putting out there in front of people to stay relevant in their world so that when they are ready to buy, sell, or invest, you're still there? And that's my biggest hang up with realtors marketing in the Facebook space, like where you already know people. YouTube's a different beast because strangers will find you on YouTube and they might be specifically looking for something. So I want all your YouTube content to be informative, educational, and make you look like a professional. But in Facebook, no one cares. Your friends aren't like, great, dude. And you hear me say it all the time. Like, have you ever been to the dentist and the dentist take a selfie and be like, root canal, who's next? And like pointing in your mouth. Like, you don't see that because it's stupid. Like, they're professionals. So why do we as realtors take selfies at the closing table and be like, boom, I worked today? Like, no one cares about that component of it. They care that you're educational, you're informative. So I tell realtors all the time, go out and interview business owners in your community, spotlight other businesses. That's what the term link juice, Captain Link Juice is. It's I'm going to connect people on social media to bigger platforms. I'm going to connect my community to my platform, and I'm going to make deposits in these business owners' world so that when they know someone's looking to buy, sell, or invest, or land's being developed, they think of me first. They're like, yeah, you got to talk to Brian. And that's, as a realtor, where I get a majority of my business is from the local business owners who I've taken the time to get to know and to give them good information about the market, and not just, look, if you're a realtor, you want to grow your real estate business, go help a bunch of local business owners grow their business. And I promise you, you'll pick up $3 to $5 million next year that you didn't have, all from that effort that doesn't cost you anything other than spending some quality time giving back in your communities. And then it just blossoms from there. Now you grab the bigger networks. So you grab the barbershop's network, you grab this person's network, then you grab these guys and say, all right, plug me into your marketing system. I have a bigger audience now. How do I get better pull through? But, I always talk about marketing as, if you remember when we were kids, we get on those merry-go-rounds and they were hard to get going, right? It's hard to push it. A couple kids jump on. But once you have momentum in that space, you just have to touch it. You just, boom, another person could jump on, another network, boom, and you just have to touch it. But most people quit before they get the momentum. And guys like these will help you with your marketing, will help you get that momentum to where you start seeing some results. It's just like going to the gym, man. You can't just pay your gym membership and get in shape. You got to show up and work out.
Wait, are you telling me I can't go to the gym and just get fit? That's so weird.
Well, you can, right? But here's the other thing. You go to the gym, you do what you know, you only know what you know, right? And that's going to get you results. But you hire Nick, who's a personal trainer, and he starts showing you stuff you never knew how to do. You think you're going to get better results. That's real estate. That's marketing. You're only going to do what you know how to do. You hire the personal trainers, these guys, and you're going to get results you never even knew were possible.
All right, guys and gals, we are wrapping up here. I have another meeting I have to get to. Jake is applauding Captain Link Juice. You dropped hammer on that. That was amazing. Gene, Nick, you guys are absolutely amazing. I want to go to Jake first. Jake, where and how can people get a hold of you and be a part of your world?
Do it.
You could come over to Clever Leads and enter your information, because I'm going to be sending out a bunch of cool stuff that everybody's going to need to know. And if you aren't on that list, you're not going to know it, but your competitors will. However, I want you to get in touch with Nick Sakis and Gene Volpe and Brian Offner. Connect with those guys. Start getting into the core roots of your business plan. Ultimately, your river is going to go ahead and find its way over towards me. So however we can go ahead and help you guys be blessed and unstoppable, that's why we're here. And that's why I'm here with these gentlemen today. So, and Greg, next time we're going to have to invite you.
I missed the invite this time, but I'm super happy to be here with you guys right now virtually. Nick Sakis, you have a Facebook page and an opportunity for people to interact with you. What would that look like?
Yeah, just go ahead and search for Nick Sakis. Again, I like what Sarge said. All rivers lead to him. I think we're all peeing downstream. And commingling efforts. I think we got a lot of really cool stuff coming with Real Estate Uncensored. Gene and Captain Link Juice have an awesome show coming on this network. Me and Jake have got an awesome show coming on this network. So everybody who's listening right now is going to benefit from even more amazing and more focused content. Right? You guys have adopted our marketing roundtable, and we're going to have other shows specifically to that.
All right, guys, check your audio. We're getting echo.
We lost.
Yeah, I want to go back to Captain Link Juice and to Gene. Guys, quickly give a plug. We are coming up on bingo on the show time frame. How do people reach out and connect with you guys as well? And I will give a plug for all of our shows as soon as we get done on this network. So Captain Link Juice and Gene, go.
Yeah, most just go on Facebook, DM through Messenger. That's where a lot of the people from the show will reach out to Gene or I, which is awesome. And just Gene J Volpe on, and Brian Offner, OFFNER. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram as well. But the best way is just shoot us a Messenger message. Tell us about how we can help, and we'll help unravel some of that head trash and make it happen.
Head trash. I love that. Gene, where can they find you?
I'm here. What are you talking about?
He's right there. He's in person.
Sarasota, come down via Sienna. Let's go. We're going to be at the marina tomorrow. We'll be at the marina tomorrow. Friday, we're going to be out and about talking to realtors. If you're anywhere near Sarasota, let us know. We're probably going to do some dinner and drinks, I think, right? And some more eating. But, listen, you've been watching us a long time. You know how to get in touch with me. He said it, Gene J. Volpe on Facebook. Send me a private message, or the Gene Volpe on Instagram, and I'll answer you right away. Matter of fact, Greg, I got a message from Matt in New Jersey today. He owns 22 properties. He wants to talk about us communicating about something. So it works, and we're here to help. So however you get in touch with me, I'm easy to find. My name is not Mike Smith. It's easy.
Anyways. Gene's too shy. Captain Link Juice, Brian, you're amazing. Nick Sakis, Jake Wolf, you guys are the most amazing men. I cannot wait to meet all of you guys in person. I've met, Jake in person, but the rest of you guys not yet. But Drew says on the show, Drew Fox says, drop mic, amazing pod boys. So he enjoyed the information you guys put out there. So I'm very, very thankful. But we need one important part of this show before we go. And I didn't mean to be a rapper and make that rhyme, but it did. We need colors for the bow on the show. Gene, what's your color?
Check it out, Greg. Yingling green.
Fuck, man. You have to make me spell that?
No, you don't. No, you just call it my beer green. Gene's beer green. Philly beer.
All right. Beer green. Link Juice. Color for the bow on the show.
Baby blue.
Baby blue.
Nick's cursing. That was his. He can't. Nick doesn't have another color. He's screwed.
2 votes though. That's 2 votes.
Jake, color.
We're gonna go with Corona Lime today.
Lime it is. All right. And Nick, since your butt hurt because you got your baby blue taken away from you, what would your color be?
I'm going yellow because we're in the fucking sunshine here in Tampa, Florida.
All right, all right, all right. I love it, gentlemen. All right, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching and listening to the show today. We cannot do this without you. You have to understand that. We have an incredible new thing we're going to be building. Captain Link Juice and Gene have a new show coming up. We have as Gene, what the fuck are you doing? Jake is like doing a slow roll behind them in the camera roll. Jake and Nick have a new show coming up. We have Ashley Chapman. We have what the shit are you guys doing? You're ruining my end of my show. God. We have Ashley Chapman. We have a few other folks that are going to be coming in. They're going to be killing it. And so the Real Estate Uncensored, the REU Nation, we have incredible opportunities for you guys to learn more, not just from me, from these intelligent human beings. And so I want you guys to pay attention and listen to what we're going to be putting out because it's going to be awesome. It's going to be absolutely awesome. So we love you to pieces. Guys, go give us a 5-star, not a 2-star review on everywhere that you guys listen and watch podcasts. And we love you to pieces. But until next time, peace out, ninjas. We gone.